After a few days spent exploring the dunes at Sandy Hook and enjoying the quiet marina at Le Grave, we sailed 8 miles over to Ile de Capamel. Capamel is downtown Madeleine's. There's a large commercial fishing and yacht harbor, as well as a ferry and cruise ship dock. It's really quite a treat being tied up in the middle of the well-kept lobster fleet and watching various skippers maneuver these large, heavy craft around like speedboats, something we've never quite got the hang of on Phantasia. It was interesting to note several of the boats from Le Grave coming over for an evening sail around Capamel. Many people from town also come for an evening dockside promenade and to ooh and ah over the visiting 100-plus foot motor yacht tied up near the cruise ship dock. Besides the ferry from PEI, there's also a weekly cruise ship that departs from Montreal and accommodates approximately 450 passengers. On the way, the ship sails by way of Quebec City and Tadoussac, stops in Chandler, and then on to the Madeleines. For some fun, try mackerel fishing from the pier. It's a favorite evening pastime here. We have a couple of rods, but I was having so much fun watching the action, I couldn't tear myself away to try my hand at fishing. You'll see the blue, white, and red with gold star in the top left, Acadian flag, flying everywhere here. The star is the Stella Maris, Star of the Sea, placed there to seek guidance and protection of the Virgin Mary. It was designed by Father Marcel François Richard in 1884. The town itself is substantial, and you can get any provisions and chandlery items, including electronics, you need. There's an excellent bakery, as well as a fish store that makes fresh sushi. I rented a scooter one day to explore the town a bit and get some fuel from a nearby station. There's no gas dock for pleasure boats, although for a minimum order a truck will deliver. The roads are a bit rough to go far by scooter, and walking was a better option. Almost every house has a collection of old and new lobster traps, as well as at least one retired fishing boat sitting in the yard. By now our time was running short, and we decided to rent a car and drive up to Ile de la Grande Entree at the northern end of the archipelago. There's a long and lonely stretch of dunes with the Gulf to the west and lagoon to the east as you travel the 30 miles up to Grande Entree. We stopped at the sculpted red sandstone cliffs at Old Harry, one of several English-speaking towns on the islands, and enjoyed lunch in the rain, and then continued on to the village of Grande Entree. There's a store there selling some authentic Madeleine sealskin items such as hats and mittens. Seal hunting has largely died out due to declining markets, but many tourists come in March to observe the harp seals with pups on the ice floes. We were glad we'd not sailed up to Grande Entree. The harbor entrance is quite narrow, and with a stiff wind blowing against the outflowing tide, quite a rough spot to enter.